Little scientist inspiring children all over the world to get inspired about science. His name is Enzo Monfrey, and he's here with us this morning. He's created his own curriculum that's in some schools right now to help teachers teach kids about science and also help them with learning how to be excited about science. Thank you so much for being here. He's 10 years old. I love it.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, sure. Well, tell me some of the things that you've done. Recently, we were just talking about you went with Texas Wildlife and Fishery to learn how to do some shock fishing. Tell me about that.
Well, what we just did was we went electrofishy with Texas Parks and Wildlife, and essentially what happened is they took these big boats and they had generators and stuff on the boats, and they had these things called electrodes, these basically wires that hang down into the water, and so they'd shock the fish. And at first, when with 240 volts of electricity,
that's amazing.
A lot of people think that would kill the fish. They just kind of pass out. At first, they freak out and start jumping and just all. I mean, they're pretty big fish.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some fish, they weren't exactly what we were the kind we were looking for, but I mean, there were some that were like this long.
Wow.
I mean, there were some really big fish that would come up. And
well, what is so exciting about science to you? What makes you interested in science?
I just have always been interested, and it's just always been cool to me.
Yeah.
Not quite sure why. It just is. It's just fun.
He has a curriculum in zoology, and what you've done a lot of TV interviews. You were on Ellen, I don't know how recently, but you were on Ellen. Well, what he's done is create a curriculum that teachers can use as to supplement education in the classroom. So tell me about your curriculum.
So basically what we do is we travel around the country and do science, and then we turn it into these science curriculum, little workbooks for schools.
Yes.
And it's like essentially a video field trip, because kids, they haven't really got kids lately, they don't really go on many field trips. So essentially we're doing video field trips, and what we're doing lately, kids won't get to do even on field trips either.
Right. Yeah, like blowing things up. You were there just now with Steve, who has a science camp out in the hill country. So you got to blow things up. You've gone to NASA. You've been able to do a whole lot of really cool, interesting things. What's been the most exciting thing you've done?
Well, I think one of the most fun thing was I've done a lot of fun things, and one of my favorites was, blowing stuff up. Crusade. That was pretty cool.
It's pretty exciting to see what can happen just by the push of a button.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So what's next for you? And you're homeschooled, so you've been able to spend a lot of time. Your mom homeschools you, is that right?
Right.
Yeah, so you've been able to spend a lot of time working on the curriculum with your parents. So what are you guys creating next? What's next for you?
We're going to do renewable energy. We're still kind of working on that one. But what's coming up for videos and doing the show is next week I'm going to be flying an airplane.
Really?
Yeah.
How cool is that? What 10-year-old gets to fly an airplane? That's very exciting. Well, if you need more information, enzoology.com is the website. You can go, and if you're a teacher who needs more information about their curriculum, you can go there, enzoology.com, or go to our website, kxan.com, and we'll have a link to your website as well. It is so great to meet you in person. I'm so excited that a 10-year-old is excited about science. There are lots of other kids out there excited about science, but I'm glad you're getting to do what you're doing. Thank you so much for being here, Enzo.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.